Thanks for staying with us. If you've noticed a group of young people walking around with their heads buried in their smartphones lately, there's a good chance they may be catching Pokemon. Pokemon Go was released a little less than a month ago, and it's really taken off. Jim, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, so I guess theoretically there's some good to be had from Pokemon Go because you physically have to wander around and catch these things. Theoretically.
You're supposed to have to wander around. Now, I'm going to confess, I did the other day attach my smartphone to my dog and had my dog run around the yard a little bit, and that.
Did he find any?
Well, no. So part of the game is in addition to Pokemon, you get Pokemon eggs, and in order to hatch the eggs, you have to walk around. Well, instead of walking around, I put my smartphone on my dog and I let him walk around for me. So,
So is that a Pokemon hack?
It's a
cheat.
soft
It's a
hack.
cheat.
How about that? Yeah.
My point is that what we have found, and it uses GPS technology.
Sure.
But what we found is it's led people into some pretty strange and some pretty dangerous areas.
Sure.
We had somebody fall off an ocean bluff.
Yeah.
Right.
We had people that were led into strip clubs.
Cemeteries.
Arlington
National Cemetery.
Yeah, I mean, all kinds of crazy places. So,
Yeah.
maybe that's an unadvertised feature of the software.
So the software uses Google Maps API, and it actually has some sort of an algorithm that it uses to determine the actual locations. So they haven't actually checked all those locations, but some of them are some locations you probably don't want to really be at. Like for example, Lancaster County. One of their Pokemon gyms is Lancaster County Prison. So,
Yeah, well, I guess, some of it's not a... But you would think if you're walking around, you can decide.
you would.
I don't need to go into this.
My wife and I were in Annapolis 2 weeks ago on the main street there.
Yeah.
Very, very crowded.
Yeah.
And we see this group of teenagers, about 6 or 7 of them, with their heads buried in their smartphones. I can only assume they were looking for Pokemon.
Right.
And they almost got hit by a car and doing
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it's...
Well,
So-
it's not just teenagers. It's adults too. I play
yeah.
it.
I've not given
I'll
in
be the
yet.
first to admit it.
No,
I
I
play
don't.
it. But that's probably because I played the Pokemon games when I was a kid. I loved playing those games when I was a kid. I love the fact that I can now play it on my smartphone.
And you're getting exercise all the while.
And I'm getting exercise.
The
and my
dog's getting
Well, at least the
exercise.
dog's getting exercise. That's the point.
And you see these stories also,
Yeah.
people just walking into someone else's
Yeah.
property.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it could turn into a very dangerous situation.
Yeah. Well, it can, especially
Especially
yeah.
given the Second Amendment rights of people in the United States.
That's
never know
right.
what's gonna
There's
happen.
plenty of guns out there, so it's a dangerous, but-
There are reports of people
Yeah.
getting robbed.
yeah.
So there's
Well,
some
you have to
danger
use some
with this.
common sense using this, you would think.
Yeah, but common sense sometimes is more rare than you might think.
Yeah. So shall we control them?
Yeah. yeah.
Yeah. So the other
That's
thing,
the issue.
The other thing, and I'll be honest with you, one of the things, and I switched at some point in the recent past from an Android device to an iPhone. And I got to tell you, the one thing that I really still dislike about Android devices is the fact that you cannot choose what information they have access to. You either allow it or don't allow it. And in the case of Pokemon Go, it's reported that it has, quote unquote, full account access.
Yes.
So anything that's on your phone, they have access
I was
to.
about to ask, where does all this data go?
Well,
Yeah. Well,
that's the
yeah.
question.
See,
Where does
so
it
that's
end
a
up?
very big question.
Probably the NSA.
It's likely.
Possibility, that is a possibility.
No, it's something though, really important to point out though too, is Pokemon Go isn't the only app that has that full access. There are a lot of apps on your smartphones that's going to have that full access. Also interesting is with the Android devices, you can actually hack the GPS so the phone thinks you're somewhere you're not. There's actually already been reports where some of the players in China have hacked their GPS so that they can take over Pokemon gyms in Japan as kind of a pseudo cyber assault.
Oh my! A game within a game.
Yeah.
Okay. Pokemon World Domination. That'll be our next topic. Interesting. Well, I'll tell you, I can't imagine that I'll be playing Pokemon anytime soon.
I won't.
Certainly, is it available for iOS?
Yeah, yep.
It
It's
is?
available for both.
Okay, and how
Yeah.
about Windows phones?
Windows phones still exist?
Blackberries. Who knows?
Well, I was walking down, Washington Street here the other day, and there's a number of people staring at
I'm
their
just
phone.
waiting to see
I'm
someone-
walking down, looking at the beautiful park there at University Plaza, all the little architectural details and some of the buildings. They're missing all of this, and they're
Yeah.
I know we have a no cell
I don't
phone
know.
while driving policy in Maryland, but I'm imagining somebody going down 270 trying to play this game.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's
There's
already been-
reported
reports of that,
incidents.
yeah.
In fact, I think it was in Baltimore. Someone actually hit a police car while playing Pokemon Go. Oops.
well,
So
All right.
yeah.
Well, I think we've had enough of this.
Oh yeah.
we
So
can
absolutely.
go with Pokemon.
Let's go.
So up next, this week's winners and losers. Stay tuned.